What is going on, everybody? It's your boy TFG here, coming back at you with another Minecraft video. We're back today in the how-to world where we talk about how to do different things in Minecraft and how to use different blocks. Today we're going to go over concrete powder and concrete blocks. We're going to talk about how to make them, how to use them, and everything you could need or want to know. First things first, we're going to talk about the crafting recipe. This is it right here on this wall. You're going to need 4 gravel, 4 sand, and a dye of your choice, and that dye will choose the color of that concrete powder. It's going to look like this right here. So remember, there are 16 different dyes in Minecraft. If you want to see how to get all those, check out my short video on that. I'll add that in the description. But let's go ahead and let's make one of these so you guys can see how easy it is. Place yourself 4 gravel and 4 sand in the crafting table grid. You'll see I'm just placing these randomly. It does not matter where you put all of this as long as you have these 9 ingredients. After you make that concrete powder, all you need to do is mix it with water to get concrete. We'll talk about that more in just a moment. What we're going to talk about now is how to pick it up. Concrete powder you can pick up by doing anything. You can use a stick, some leaves, your hand, whatever, but a shovel is the fastest. It's going to be like sand, gravel, dirt, grass, all those, where you can pick it up with a shovel super fast. Over here though, the concrete block, you actually need to use a pickaxe. If you don't use a pickaxe, it's going to be like stone where it just like poofs away after you mine it with your hand. So make sure you use a pickaxe. Right here is just to show you guys that concrete powder and concrete blocks can both be stacked in full stacks of 64. Now concrete powder follows the laws of gravity. Concrete blocks do not, so check this out. We have concrete powder, gravel, sand, anvils, and dragon eggs all follow the laws of gravity. So important to know that. If you want to use this in your buildings, you can, but just make sure it's placed on top of another block. Right here we have note blocks. Now a regular note block sounds like this. A note block with a concrete powder below it has a snare sound. And a note block with a concrete block underneath it makes a bass sound. Alright, next we're going to talk about blast resistance. Now, the blast resistance of stone is 6. So you'll see if I go too deep and I blow it up, it's going to make us a nice 3x3 hole every single time. But you'll see that this is 6. The blast resistance of concrete is 1.8. It is much lower. So check this out. I'm going to do the same thing, just go 2 blocks deep and blow up this TNT, and you'll see that it makes a much larger hole in comparison to stone. So this is just important to know, because if you're building with this stuff, make sure that if you're using TNT anywhere near it, you need to be very careful, because you will blow up a lot of it at once if you're not careful. Now, what's funny about this is the blast resistance is so much lower than stone, but the block itself has a higher hardness than stone. So stone 1.5 hardness, concrete block 1.8 hardness. So what does that mean? Well, if I were to use a netherite pickaxe on a concrete block, it's going to take 0.3 seconds, and if I use a netherite pickaxe on a stone block, it will take 0.25 seconds. Now obviously that isn't a very large difference, but if you're mining a lot of either of these at once, it will make a difference. So it's important to know that it actually takes longer to mine a concrete block with any pickaxe, but it will blow up a lot easier than something like stone. So just important to know those properties if you're going to be working with this stuff a lot. So now let's talk about making concrete. Well, all you need to do is take concrete powder, and you'll see I can place it up here and let it fall in there, immediately turns into concrete. I can do that, or I can place it right in the water source and it will work. Now these are all water sources. What happens if I place it in flowing water? It's going to do the same exact thing. I can let it fall down into it, and I can place it directly into it. It will work. Also important to note here that rain, water bottles, and cauldrons do not work. So you need to have your concrete powder come in direct contact with a water source or flowing water. And finally, we want to talk about the actual colors of the concrete block. You'll see down here on the bottom we have concrete powder and we have concrete blocks. Now concrete powder is obviously like way less vibrant, but it still has some good uses. It's almost like colored sands and colored gravel, so it actually looks pretty cool, and you can use this to make like gradients in your builds. But what we really want to talk about is the concrete blocks. Check this out. In the middle, we have terracotta. Now, terracotta has all the same colors as concrete blocks, but you'll see that they are much less vibrant. And then on top, we have wool, and you'll see that wool has all of the same colors as concrete blocks, but it is, again, a little less vibrant. Also, it is textured, so you might not want this texture. And then also, wool is flammable, so that's something to consider if you're playing with fire spread on. Wool is a bit risky to be building with, but you know, when it comes down to it, concrete blocks, the main two things is that it's going to give you a super smooth, untextured look, and it's also going to be the most vibrant, colorful block that we have in the game right now. So that is everything you need to know about concrete powder and concrete blocks. If you learned something from this, maybe leave a like. That would help me out a lot. And of course, if you want to see more from me, stick around with the channel and subscribe. Thank you guys very much for watching, and as always, have a good one.